At 81, I thought I was making a smart choice, one that would make life easier, safer, and less stressful. My family called it a fresh start. I told myself it was just a new chapter. But looking back, I realized something. I traded comfort for control, and I didn't even see it happening. If you're thinking about moving into a care facility, or know someone who is, I want to share 6 things I wish I'd known before I made that choice. Because once you take that step, it changes your life in ways you can't always undo. Stay with me till the end, because some of these realizations may completely shift how you think about aging and independence. The biggest surprise wasn't the shared dining hall, the scheduled activities, or the hospital-like hallways. It was waking up one day and realizing I didn't own my time anymore. At home, I used to decide when to brew coffee, when to go for a walk, when to read. I had freedom. But inside the care home, everything had a schedule, and I wasn't the one who made it. You want breakfast at 9? Too late, it's served at 8. Want to stay up reading? The lights go off at 10. Even a walk outdoors required asking for help and waiting for availability. I remember sitting on the edge of my bed one morning, reaching for a book that wasn't there, in a room that didn't feel like mine. That S when it hit me. I had given up more than a house. I had given up the rhythm of my own life. When I first moved in, everyone said they'd visit often. My daughter promised weekend lunches. My nephew said he'd drop by after work. And for a little while, they did. But time passed. Life got busy. Visits turned into phone calls turned into occasional texts, and eventually, even those became rare. It's not that they stopped caring. They just got swept up in their own lives. But inside these walls, days blur together. And when the outside world forgets you, it feels like you disappear a little more every day. I'd sit by the window and wonder, did they think I was okay? Did they assume I didn't need company anymore? If you're thinking about a care facility, ask yourself, are you ready to be alone, more than you expect? At home, my days had meaning, even in small ways. Watering plants, feeding the birds, folding laundry, it all gave me a reason to get up. But in the facility, most of those tasks disappeared. Meals were brought to me. My room was cleaned for me. And before I knew it, I had nothing to do. And worse, nothing to look forward to. I met a man named Robert, a retired mechanic. He used to fix everything. His lawnmower, his neighbor's toaster, his grandkids' bikes. Here, nothing to fix, no tools, no garage. And like me, he slowly stopped trying. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. But once you lose it, the days feel longer. The silence feels heavier. Before the move, I was doing well. I wasn't climbing mountains, but I could cook, clean, and walk the block. But in the facility, I slowed down, and I didn't even realize it. No more grocery shopping, no stairs, no bending, lifting, stretching. Everything was brought to me, and that convenience came at a cost. My muscles weakened. My balance suffered. I started needing the help I never needed before. I once overheard a nurse say, "That's just aging." But I don't think it was. I think I stopped using my body and it started giving up on me. If you're considering this path, ask yourself, will you keep moving even when everything around you tells you to sit down? Privacy used to be something I took for granted. Closing a door, taking a quiet moment, deciding when to rest. But in the facility, privacy is something you share. Staff knock, but don't always wait. Roommates come with their own routines, and even using the bathroom can require assistance. I didn't expect how uncomfortable that would feel, needing help to dress, explaining my every action. It's not about the staff, they were kind, but it's about feeling like your dignity is slowly taken, bit by bit. You learn to live with it, but you never stop missing the feeling of being alone on your own terms. When I first moved in, I told myself, this is just for now. But I didn't realize how quickly temporary can become permanent. My house? Empty, then rented. my routines, gone. And I wasn't as strong anymore. I wasn't sure I could handle stairs or cooking for myself. And my family, well-meaning as they were, weren't sure either. It was no longer about what I wanted. It was about what everyone else thought was best for me. And so, I stayed. Because leaving wasn't just a matter of walking out the door. It was figuring out where to go, how to manage, how to afford it, and whether I was still capable. If you are thinking about moving into care, ask yourself honestly, will you be able to get out if you change your mind? Growing old isn't the problem. The real problem is believing your only choice is to give up the life you've built for a version someone else thinks is safer. A care facility might be the right fit for some, but not for everyone. If I could go back, I would have asked for more in-home help, leaned more on community, and fought harder to stay in my own space, on my own terms. So before you decide, ask yourself, is this really the best choice, or just the easiest one right now? Because once you give up your freedom, getting it back isn't easy.